what does it mean to create love? What does it mean to co-create love? Well, one misunderstanding we have held on to for a very, very long time is that our family history becomes our history. So when we have grown up in any kind of dynamic, whether it's our home life, whether it's in society, whether it's, people around us, we think that what we've seen and observed is what we take on board, and we think that that's who we have to be. Because that was my parents' love story, that has to be my love story. Because that is the love story of the culture I've grown up in, then that has to be my love story. And this idea that that's what needs to happen. The truth is that if you've seen it happen, then it's done. If you've seen it happen, it's already happened. And if it's already happened, it happened so that you didn't have to live through that. So if you have grown up in an environment that you didn't find necessarily healthy, or found somehow toxic, or prevents you now from knowing yourself to be pure love, to be unconditional love, then I invite you to really, really take what I say right now seriously. And that is to understand that if it's already been done, you don't need to redo it. If it's already been done, they did it so that you wouldn't have to. They didn't do it to pass it on to you so that you live through that story yourself. And yet we see that time and again, so many people repeat patterns because they don't know how to let go of it. And so they can work through lots of stuff and do lots of writing and journaling and meditation, all the rest of it. And it takes a shift in perspective. And that shift in perspective is if you can honestly say, I've seen it, it's not what I choose. Now, I don't want to choose the opposite of that, because again, that's what a lot of people do. They go, oh, they always argued, so I'm going to meet somebody who I never argue with. Well, that's not necessarily healthy either, because when you end up sort of going from one to the other, what happens is you're still choosing the same thing, but in polarity. And when you choose transcendence, when you are willing to go, well, if that's been done, I want to choose something that is higher than that, of a higher vibration, a higher energy, higher level of consciousness. And that is the active work that the feminine energy has to work with. The feminine energy has to work with actively raising consciousness. So a lot of the work that we do is not so much about easing our own suffering. It's more to do with actually raising our level of consciousness and choosing consciously to let go of the old patterns that no longer serve us, that were never meant for us to copy. We think that that's what we have to do, because how do we learn to speak? We copy. How do we learn to walk? We copy. We see, we observe, and we copy what we see and observe. And it gets embedded into our psyche and it becomes our truth, but it's not the truth. And the truth we want to come to is that the reason why we observed those things was because we got to make a different choice. And that's something we didn't always understand. And so I really want to share that with you. I really want you to sit with that for a moment and just really, really connect to the fact that you get to choose what love means to you in this moment. And you may not know. And that's beautiful too, because that is definitely the journey that I am going to be taking you on, to really, really discover a new way of looking at love, a new way of experiencing love, a new way of expanding your heart, your consciousness, and your electromagnetic field to bring in the love that the world needs. Because, for me, this is my passion. My passion is to really, really help people really truly understand, because I know that that's why I've been born on this earth, to really, bring together everything that I have learned, everything I've experienced, to be that light to help guide people towards something more than we have experienced in the last couple of centuries. The last couple of centuries, that real deep, deep love that comes from within us, that is a part of who we are, has been missing. And it's been missing because we've been drawn to the masculine energy. We've been drawn to the mind. We've been drawn to logic. We've been drawn to science. We've been drawn to a lot of things that have denied the truth of the feminine energies. A lot of those qualities are very masculine. And because that feminine connection has been lost, the connection to the heart has been lost. And that is what needs to be brought back again.